So next point is safety aspects of radiopharmaceuticals lab. In that, first we should strictly follow operations with unrelated sources. So if we are using the unrelated sources, then we can reduce the chances of getting unwanted and we can avoid the radiation exposure by following operations with unrelated sources. Second is special area for radioactive work. Okay, so that area it should be regularly monitored. So there is special area for radioactive work. Then next, unnecessary movements. So movements of persons as well as the materials which is in radiopharmaceuticals lab. Okay, it should be avoided. Next, suitable protective clothing, protective devices and surgical gloves should be provided during the experiment. Then radionuclides kept in sealed container. If we are not using that radionuclide, so it should be sealed in containers. Then the area which is specially for radiopharmaceutical experiments, it should be surveyed regularly. So if there is any mistake, so we can detect by surveying that particular area covered with plastic, glass or stainless. Then the materials or the substances chemicals should not pipette out by mouth. Then radioactive material should never touch with hand. We have to use forceps for the handling or any kind of instrument for the handling of radioactive materials. Then do not eat, drink, smoke in that area where the unsealed radionuclides are stored. Okay, next, radio survey meter should be used. So there is one meter which is called as radio survey meter, which is used in that radiopharmaceutical lab, which is for safety of workers as well as the peoples who are living besides the company of that radiopharmaceuticals. Okay, next point is measurement of radioactivity. How we can measure the radioactivity of the particular radionuclide. So there are two types of counters, that is Geiger-Müller counter and another one is scintillation counter. So first we will discuss about the Geiger-Müller counter. So in this we are measuring the high energy beta emitters by using Geiger-Müller counter. So in over here what we are measuring the efficiency of the ionizing radiation which is emitted by the substances due to the emission of beta particles. So this is the Geiger-Müller counter. So this Geiger-Müller counter has the ability to cause the ionization of the gas. So which gas is present in this? Argon gas is present. So there is the ionization of the argon gas which will produce the ionizing radiations. Okay, and this argon gas which is present in this tube is easily ionizable. Okay, so first we will see the construction. This is the Geiger-Müller counter. Here is our substances we are placing over here. Then this is the mica window which is perforated. Then there is this perforated coating which is of silvered. Then over here argon gas is present. This is the anode and this is the cathode. So how it works? The substance which emitted the beta particles, that beta particles enters into this tube via this mica window. Then this particle will causes the ionization, or we can also call it as the excitation of the argon gas ions. Okay, then that ions are positively charged, so it will attract it to the negatively charged electrode which is called as cathode, and it will responsible for the results into the current. So that current will detect how the efficiency or how the intensity of that ionizing radiation. So that intensity will directly proportional to the efficiency of that beta particles. Okay. See, first what happens? First we have to ionize that argon gas. Okay. So beta particles entered into the tube through this mica window. Then that argon gas which is present in this window get ionized. It get positively charged. That argon ions get attracted towards the cathode, and this process continues until the equilibrium between the ionized volume of tube and with the current which is passes through this cathode. Okay. Then that current will be proceed in the form of signal to detect the efficiency. The efficiency is not high if the energy of that beta particle which is called as emitter is low. Okay. Advantage of this is it provides the high output, but disadvantage, efficiencies are low if the energy is also low. Hence it is not suitable for tritium, that is isotope of hydrogen. Okay. Next method is liquid scintillation counting. So this method is used for the measurement of efficiency of ionizing radiation which is emitted by the low energy beta emitter. Example is isotope of hydrogen and isotope of carbon. The drug metabolism is also carried out by the principle of liquid scintillation counting. So what will be the procedure? First we have to dissolve our sample into the solvent. Solvent we are taking toluene or dioxane. Here we are not using water as a solvent. Okay. Then next we have to add the scintillant material. Scintillant material, example diphenyl oxazole. Okay, scintillant material is the material which forms the scintillation, and scintillation is nothing but the fluorescence. Okay. Then next what will happen, that beta particles transfers the energy from the solvent to the scintillant molecule. Because our sample is in solvent, it get dissolved, so we get the solution. So that beta particle transfers the energy from that solution to the scintillant material. After that what will happen, the excitation of molecule will happen. So excitation of molecule, it means molecules goes from ground state to the excitatory state. Then after some time molecules emitted some energy and it will fall from excited state to the ground state, and there is some emission of the energy in the form of light which is called as fluorescence, which is nothing but the scintillant. Then that scintillant will be measured by using detector. So mostly photomultiplier is used. So as we know the working of photomultiplier, here 6 to 19 diodes are present in this. First electrons will bombard on the cathode. Okay, cathode. Then that photons will converted into the electrons, and then electrons multiplies with the help of diodes. Then multiplication will occur, then that electrons get collected at the anode and detected the efficiency of that ionizing radiation. Okay. So advantage of this scintillation method is we can use this method is used for the low energy beta emitter, that is isotope of hydrogen and isotope of carbon. And disadvantage, sample preparation is must, and sample preparation should be in the non-aqueous solvent, that is toluene or dioxane. We are not using water over here. Okay, thank you.